So what's up, guys? You like my hat? Notice these pins over here? This is for my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And of course, this is for my mentoring company, Just Inspire. But I want to talk about my beloved fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And not so much about the fraternity, but about why I decided to join it. I've always been proud of myself in being, I guess, the individual. And I'll be honest, that's not always been championed. There have been times where it's made me pretty down, pretty depressed, pretty sad. Yeah, all of that. As a matter of fact, I think it was one of the driving forces why I wanted to go away to college. I had friends in high school, had friends in the community. I have a loving family, but there was always just this burning that something I was just more, or nobody really got it. Got me, I should say. I will note that I had an extremely, really close relationship with my grandfather, Clyde Tucker. People know him as Bubba. He died when I went to 6th grade. Definitely a lot sooner than I would have hoped or expected. It was devastating. And also around that time, we moved from Queens to Long Island, which was, for me, extremely far from my family, both sides, mother and father's side, because everybody's in the city. So you can understand how even if I had friends that I was growing up with in Long Island, still, that's not where I'm from. It doesn't hit the same in terms of home. So that was always a bit of a struggle. And because of that, I think my parents both went to college. They started, they didn't finish, but they went. And I always say that's important to note because that sets the stage for me and helped encourage me to go. Hearing those stories. And I used to like to watch the teen and college movies. So I think I just had early enchantment with going to college. But initially, when I was going to college, I didn't think about being in a fraternity. I didn't think I was a fraternal guy, to be honest. I didn't think that was in the cards for me. I thought that was joining another group kills you being an individual. But I think one of the unique things that happened is when I went to college, I finally met a group of guys that I really am still friends with to this day, who I believe accept me as an individual, but allow me to still be part of a greater group. And that's something I've always wanted. It's like being Wolverine in the X-Men. Yeah, I'm Wolverine. Wolverine has his whole complicated life, but he still is part of the X-Men. Wolverine's been an Avenger. Wolverine's been a Weapon X. He's been all these other things, right? And he has a lot of trauma in his background from a lot of losses and uprooting and all sorts of things, but he finds his place with the X-Men. And that's how I've always felt with my guys from college. I'm still friends to this day. And that's a blessing. That's over 20 years now. And so, I'm never going to forget. It started my sophomore year when we would come back to college. We were in the gym, working out. And funny enough, one of my friends that started the conversation, he's not the bruz, but I'm never going to forget him talking about, yo, you pledging with us this year? And I was like, what? We joining a fraternity? Really? Because in my mind, I'm like, we already are a fraternity. We our own little thing. We our own little clique. We roll up and we go places together. But and good also to know, my father is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I have a lot of respect for the Alphas, and that may come up in this story. I'll see where we go with this. This is off the cuff, guys. This is not scripting anything here. I don't have my teleprompter in front of me. I'm just talking to y'all, bleeding my heart. The reason why I'm doing that is because today, April 3rd, 2025, is the 15th year I had the great opportunity to be a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated through the Epsilon chapter, the mighty erotic Epsilon chapter. Ooh. Yeah, I always feel good to just, but initially I was like, cool. I didn't really understand or know a lot about fraternities. To tell you how much I didn't truly understand, my uncle, Marion J. Tucker, is actually the 84 member of my fraternity. He pledged my chapter, Epsilon chapter, I pledged his chapter. He crossed in 1984, the year before I was born. My Epsilon chapter actually has a lot of family connection to me in terms of it's been around my family all my life, but I wasn't really that aware of it. I wasn't cognizant, I should say. But I say all that to say that that's just how little I was really paying attention and focused on being the bruhs. But sometimes what's destined is destined, because you'll have some kids that'll be like, oh, I wanted to be on a fraternity all my life. My dad brought me to everything, and I was on his lap, and I saw the guys, and I knew right then and there that's what I was going to do. That wasn't me. And my father did bring me to other events. When we were in high school, I'd go to there used to be the HBCU Classic. That would be right there in New Jersey at the Giant Stadium. So my father brought me to things like that. It's not that I was not aware. Like I told you, I've always been an individual. So I just think being focused on who I am and what I'm trying to do, that's where that led me. But now having this new formed family, having these brothers around me, I took interest in wanting to be a part of whatever they wanted to be a part of. And actually, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. My sophomore year, later that September, there'd be a fashion show. There'd be a fashion show at Johnson & Wells in North Miami. During that fashion show, they had a segment where they were transitioning between fashion designers. While they were waiting for the next designer to get ready, the DJ started to just cut music. He would cut a song, Atomic Dog. I'll never forget. I knew that song because I've heard it before, but for some reason it just really hit. This was a movie. You ever see those scenes in the movie where the main character, there's no audio, you just hear music and lights and a transformation's happening? And so a brother, and I know this brother, his name's Justin as well, from FIU, the 88th chapter. I believe this is an 04 brother. Or, let me not get to guessing, but it's been some years. But actually, I'm pretty damn sure this is an 04 brother. But anyway, his name was Hype. He buckets out the crowd. Now, I'm a wrestling fan. If you've seen some of my content, you might have seen me talk about it. But I promise you, this brother looked like Macho Man Randy Savage. His shirt was cut up, had some beads in the sleeves, had these gold boots, these army shorts that were all cut up, and he just runs out the crowd, slides onto the stage, and just gets up and starts setting that thing out. And I just was like, what is this? Oh, I need that. Oh, what is this? Yo, what's going on here? And it was my first time seeing an Omega Man, full Que Dawg mode, setting that thing out on stage. I will never forget that moment. I'm pretty sure my final moments on this earth, as they say, things flash before your eyes. I'm sure seeing him descending from the crowd and take that stage like The Rock or somebody getting into the ring to cut loose and then set it out the way he did, I wanted that. That was power. I felt that, and I wanted it myself. And I just remember if you ever seen the Qs before, if it's your first time, you know what I'm talking about. There's something about this electricity. It just makes you just want to just move. It's almost like church, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm all hype and excited. You know how back in the days, you be with your friends, you used to grab somebody like, yo, you see, this is crazy. And once they said, yeah, man, that's what we doing. That's us. And I started studying. There was a moment when I think we used to go to this club. It was a bar, a sushi bar, if you will. It turned into a nightclub on Thursday, Friday nights called Itchy's. And I remember one time we went in there and just acting like we were the bruhs and carrying on. And then word got out that we was perpetrating. And I met one of the brothers that would, to this day, is just a breath of fresh air in my life. A brother named Rudy. We heard about what we done, called us. We were all so scared. It's funny, no matter how tough you are, that's how you know you got respect. Because we was outnumbered them. We was a good 20 at that time, like 20, 30 deep. So what you want to do? But we had respect. We had respect. And that's how you know that's how you know you got that power. All of us were like afraid. He could have lined us all up and slapped all of us, and we would have took that slap. We were wrong, and we knew it. And so he met us and told us about Omega Psi Phi Fraternity for real. We let him know that we were extremely interested and wanted to do more. It's when a journey for me started, exploring the history of Black fraternities, in particular Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. I would go on a journey that would actually take me 5 years to complete. Yeah. Because this story starts in 2005. I told you my sophomore year of college. And we are celebrating my 15th anniversary. Excuse me, my 15th Omegaversary. So it took me 5 years to make it. That's interesting. That's wow, right? 5 years. Yeah. I think I have never put that into perspective myself. And of course, it didn't take me 5. It's not like I went on in 2005, but to join anything, there's a process. You got to meet people, get vetted, then get on your train. And so I think through the process of becoming an Omega man, I learned a lot about myself, a lot about my endurance, my resilience. A lot of times it's men, we look at strength in such a linear, like one-dimensional way. And the reality is that's not even what we think. That's what everybody's telling us. But there are so many other ways that you demonstrate how strong you are. And I spend a lot of time alone now. And it's having these moments to reflect and really look at what I've been through, what we've come from. And you start to really see just how strong and sometimes even how beautiful you are. And so just today, I'm just really excited. I might just put this out raw. I might not even do the whole dressing it up, the green screen in the back and all. I'm just taking a moment, man, to just really appreciate this. Our fraternity continues to grow. Epsilon chapter recently just had some new young brothers come out. So shout out to the Spring 25 Epsilon chapter, especially the Legacy. I see you, bro. You made the channel, brothers. You made the channel. This will be here forever. But absolutely, if you're in New York, if you want to see some fine men doing great work, I would tell you, just look up Mighty Epsilon Chapter, whatever events they're having. If you want to be inspired, you want to be just inspired, go there. But yeah, I think about it. And it's, you know what? And it's not just the 5 years that it took me to join Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, but just the opportunities that have come from being a part of this. I'm sure if you've listened to some of my podcasts and some of my past conversations, I've talked about some of the struggles and hardships I've endured in life, and we all endure them. But it's been my fraternity brothers that at times have lifted me up. I remember the first time I lost a job for an extended period of time, and I was really going through a rough bid with unemployment and just decisions and choices. A lot of times, guys, that's one of the first things that messes up. You lose a job. It can be devastating, and it was devastating for me. But I remember my ADP, that's the second to my dean, which is the person in charge of my whole process. I needed help, and he got me my first bake job with JP Morgan Chase. And I remember I messed up the first interview, and he got me another one with the district manager. Like the person the ultimate decision maker. He got her to sit with me and on the spot give me an opportunity. That is the power that I desire to have to give to other brothers. That's helping somebody. He didn't tell me go apply somewhere online. He said, he did tell me, yo, make sure you do the application, but boom, this is what's going to happen. And it happened. I also think about, shout out Gavin. Shout out Gavin. I also think about Brother Mike Daniels. Brother Mike Daniels is responsible for me finding my passion in education. Being a soldier and working in the bank system, I thought that I was gonna make a living in finance, and I probably should have if you're looking at just the fiscal rewards from that. But I was a person that was truly wanted to find a way to make my riches pursuing my purpose and helping others. And so I constantly struggled on the way home thinking about how can I earn an honest living doing service. And one day I met Brother Mike Davis, we were talking, and he told me, yo, go to the Harlem Children's website and see if you see anything that speaks to you. And I found the position, a college advisor. And I was like, wait a minute. There's people that advise young people on how to go to college, and they pay you to do that? And he was like, yeah. Here we are, man. So maybe I'll make this an annual thing. I just want to thank all the brothers that I've met that have been a helping hand. You know what? I'll thank all the brothers that have been a barrier, because in being a barrier, you still brought out the best in me because I got past you. So, close this out. This was supposed to be 5 minutes, and we turned to a whole another episode. To the friends, to the foes. Long live Omega Psi Phi. Long live the Mighty Epsilon chapter. And thank you to everyone that afforded me the opportunity.